Keyboard shortcuts, export and import. Sometimes it's a roaring pain to set up a new computer. The next time you have to do it, life will be a bit easier, as we'll see in this edition of Stuart's Audacity Tips. I'll get to today's tip in just a second. First, I'd like you to send this to another Audacity user. I know, I hate getting forward this to everyone emails too, but I love people who send me helpful stuff. Lately, I've been doing a lot of setting up of new computers. I can't get into specifics just yet, but I've had need to set up Audacity on Windows, Mac, and Linux boxes quite a bit in the last few months. And every time I do it, I'm glad I've used one huge time-saving feature of Audacity. One of the earlier versions of SAT talked about some keyboard shortcuts I like to use. Well, I have a lot more of them than the few I talked about in that particular column, and setting them up every time I install Audacity would be really awful. So here's what I do. In Preferences Keyboard, there are two buttons down at the bottom of the window. They are labeled Export and Import. They do exactly what you might expect. Export your keyboard settings and import keyboard settings from a saved file. Once I had my keyboard set up the way I wanted it, I exported it to a file and put that file on a flash drive. Now whenever I need to set up Audacity anew, I import that file and boom, everything is just the way I like it. Go ahead and try exporting now. It's never a bad idea to have your keyboard settings stored somewhere. Even better for you, the text file generated by export is very readable, and you can create small versions that only include a few keys. So, here for your pleasure is a keyboard file that sets the Q and W keys to stop and set cursor and record, respectively. I'll put it down in the comments too. Just copy the text, paste it into Notepad, text editor, or Nano, depending on your platform, or your text editor of choice if you have one, and save the file as satkeys.xml. Then go into Audacity and import that file from the keyboard panel in Preferences. Now your Q and W keys work the same way mine do. And I'll let you in on why I've been doing all those installs lately, but not quite yet. I promise there will be more good stuff. Oh, P.S. If you decide you don't like my settings, just import the file you exported previously. You'll be right back where you were before you started reading this tip.